All right, let me get through with you for a second. Sui bears are far right at this point. I mean, they're pretty much done. It's over. Ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing here is something that is known as price discovery coming from the Sui price. This thing is unleashed. And as I said, the bears are pretty much toast. I mean, it's over really. Take a look at the Y side and you can see that the portfolio that we were making about a month ago is really doing some numbers here. This is something that is great. Also, if you come to CoinMarketCap, you are seeing that Sui is number 17. Let me tell you with a high degree of certainty, you are going to see Sui in the top 10 very, very soon. One easy reason is that if you take a look at all the coins that are above Sui right now, they are way low. Sui is the only one that is in price discovery right now. Really, that has got so many advantages. Now, talking about price discovery, let's take a look at the chart real quick. And we are seeing Sui here on the left side. And then, of course, we are comparing to the one that Solana was having back then in 2020, 2021. I think the market has agreed that Sui can really be competitive to Solana. And funny enough, we are seeing that up until this point, at least, Sui has just been following what Solana was doing back then in 2020. And of course, Solana back then had a fantastic bull run. So we're expecting the same thing to happen pretty much for Sui, but let's get into real numbers. So we're going to use something very basic here just to come up with a preliminary price target, meaning the bare minimum that the price can do, right? We're grabbing our Fibonacci retracement 2 from the very top to the bottom here, and we are looking for the full Fibonacci extension, and that is right around $7.70, right around $8, right? Why did we do this? We are also applying the same thing here for Solana from the very top of the structure, which is looking alike, to the bottom here. You can see that the first stop that Solana was making was also right around the full Fibonacci extension level, right at the 4.236 Fibonacci extension level. So this is like the bare minimum in my humble opinion. But as we have just been saying, that if Sui is going to be as competitive as Solana at the current price, if we compare the two, Sui would have to rise another 11x to reach something like $25. Is this something that is very much possible? I think it has the narrative, it has the numbers coming in. You can see here when you take a look at DeFi Llama, you can see something like 1.72 billion that is in TVL. But remember, this is only in a very short space of time. The mainnet was like maybe 2 years ago or something like that. And this goes on to show you that the big money is backing Sui to do well. But now in a better scenario, should Sui go on to grab the market cap that Solana was having back then, we can maybe anticipate a price of as high something like, $32. That will be something like a 14x from where the price is sitting right at this point. Now, of course, this price targets may be hard, but there actually is a big opportunity within the ecosystem, and this really has been my messaging time and again. I've made videos on this specific issue saying that, you know what, Sui is the hottest chain right at this point. But then again, take a look at the underlying things in the ecosystem and you will find great gems right in there. This is how we created this portfolio, and I'm going to start off here by showing you Scallop, which is, I think, a lending protocol right there. You can see that it really is a little bit dragging, but I really think sooner than later it is eventually going to be catching up with the rest of the ecosystem. So from Scallop, eventually I'm expecting something like a 20x at the end of this bull cycle. At least that's where I'm planning to take my profits, right? But you have to watch the video that I made on this specific portfolio. Then, of course, we've got the big one, which is Cetus, the decentralized exchange that is on Sui. And you can see that pretty much it's following what Sui is doing. It hasn't yet set a new all-time high, but I think really we could fairly say that it has set a new all-time high, because if we go with this launch all-time high, really these things can sometimes be deceptive. But again, from Cetus in our portfolio, I'm expecting something like a 25x to show up eventually. So we are doing well. We are progressing really, really well right there. The next one is Navi Protocol. We can see that right now, Navi Protocol is just trying to work out this last resistance before it can also continue its rally. And I'm really expecting big things from Navi Protocol, because you can see here TVL 500 million and its market cap is something like 35 or 36 million dollars. It's really punching above its weight and shows that really it has got the backing. We're expecting something like a 25x to show up from Navi Protocol. The next one in our portfolio is SuiSwap, and I think really this is one that I'm very much bullish on, because it has got zero inflation. Everything is already circulating and logged. So what we are seeing immediate short term obviously is something like a bull flag here, and the price target for this kind of a bull flag usually is the length of the pole. So that will be something like 2.8 cents or so. That's about around 300% from where the price is sitting right now. But eventually I expect a minimum of 50x from SuiSwap just because of zero inflation, and on top of that, the name really carries weight. SuiSwap, everybody can relate that this is from the Sui blockchain. It also reminds people of something like a Uniswap, SushiSwap or whatever, those things which were very much popular back in the last bull market. So I think SuiSwap is one that can do pretty much well. 50x is the minimum that I'm expecting from our portfolio, so hopefully we'll do well from there. Next in the portfolio is SuiPed, and we are seeing a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave count. We are still within the third wave, and usually these are like the most exciting ones. So I think we are not even yet started with SuiPed, because I mean, as long as we are below this resistance here, we are still not yet in price discovery. But those things are coming. I think, one reason I actually picked this one is because it's a launch pad, and if Sui is going to be the next hottest thing, right, projects are going to have to launch on one of these, launch pads, and that's where SuiPed is coming in. The inflation on SuiPed is relatively low compared to the other ones, and because of that, I'll be expecting something like a 35x to come out of SuiPed from our portfolio. Now, the last one in the portfolio, which is almost like a bonus, honestly, is CPED, which is also another launchpad. Again, same logic, launchpad. The chain is going to get big, more projects need to launch there. That's where CPED is coming in as well. Very tiny market cap, something like $3 million. So if CPED is going to be a thing, at the end of the day, I expect something like a 50x to come from it. Again, because of no inflation, very tiny market cap. On top of that, it is only listed on one exchange. What is going to be happening when it gets listed on 10 exchanges, 11, 15, and something like that? So big upside right there, but also the risk is very much high. So what we are seeing immediate short term is that it's looking like we are coming out of a Wyckoff accumulation pattern here, and we're just waddling sideways. It's going to take a bit of time, and it still has got like a lot of resistances above it. For example, you can see this area, but if the Sui ecosystem is going to stay strong, I think definitely it will benefit from this kind of momentum. On top of that, if it starts getting listed on exchanges and stuff like that, that's all the ingredients that you need. Again, the market cap is only $3 million. So, for you to get something like a 50x, it's only going to be maybe a total of something like $150 million. That's not a lot of money. If people start believing in this market and people are back, like retail is really, really back, these things are very much possible. I want to remind you once again of our new user limited time event coming from our partners over there at BingX, up to $5,450 to be won, and on top of that, 300 ton tokens. Go ahead and check out the links, which will be in the description, and then you'll be able to find these activities. Then of course, we've got an interesting one, deposit to win, something like 5,100 USDT in terms of trial funds and vouchers and stuff like that. You can be using these vouchers to offset your losses in trades. It's a fantastic concept altogether. Then finally, let me invite you to cf2kit.com. cf2kit.com. This is where you can find the toolkit that I made for you over the summer, so that you will become an independent and successful trader for that matter. So go ahead and check it out, cf2kit.com. And with that being said, let me just remind you, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, all right? But if you like the content, don't forget to delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and of course, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.